Hey everyone, with AlHaitham being one of my new favorite characters, I thought it would be a great idea to share how valuable I think AlHaitham can be to your account. Remember to sub and like if you enjoyed, it would really mean a lot if we could reach 2k subs soon. Thanks, I really appreciate it, we're so close. I'm not gonna go over his kit because I don't want to repeat what is said in-game, but I will go over his playstyle, teams, weapons, artifacts, and overall value. As a main DPS, I found a lot of success using him in single target, but he's also surprisingly good at multi-target due to his mirror mechanics having such large hitboxes. It's not like Xiao's multi-target level good, but it's enough to get the job done surprisingly well. This is really important because there aren't a lot of characters that can find success in both scenarios all too well. If you think about top tiers, Hu Tao really struggles in multi-target because her hitboxes aren't too big. Ayaka, she's really good, but I'd argue that she gets less value in single target boss scenarios because you can't freeze them. I'm not saying that she's bad in single target, but what I'm saying is that you need to take your time to know when the boss is vulnerable, otherwise your burst could possibly miss or even do less damage because you messed up your rotations. The point of me mentioning this isn't to bring attention to the negative parts of their kit. That's a story for another day. I'm saying this to emphasize how valuable AlHaitham is by being good at both without having to change up his playstyle. His playstyles stay the same in both single target and multi-target. There is no need to switch your party all too much in order to succeed in both scenarios by using him. Speaking of playstyles, I found a lot of success using AlHaitham as a hyper carry with a bit of quick swapping potential. As you may know, AlHaitham is capable of generating mirrors with his burst, skill, and either a charge or plunge attack. As a spread DPS, it's very important to have 3 of his mirrors on field as much as possible. This is because most of his damage comes from that mechanic, as it has a special ICD that allows him to react every 2 hits to apply Dendro. His burst is important to his kit because it allows him to start every rotation with 3 mirrors, but not everyone has a perfect build, so you may or may not have it every single rotation, but this is why everyone, including myself, mentions that AlHaitham is quite energy hungry. Let's say that you're in a scenario where you don't have enough ER, or he's the only Dendro unit in the party. Of course it would lead into a loss of DPS, but it's not so punishing compared to a lot of other burst-reliant characters, simply because he's capable of generating 3 mirrors without it. It's not like he needs his burst to generate 3 mirrors. It would be preferred to help with the rotation, but it's not the end of the world if he doesn't. AlHaitham's teams are what help him excel the most in terms of value. AlHaitham works pretty well in almost every Dendro team imaginable, with Hyperbloom being the best in my opinion. And there are a variety of characters that can help him succeed and do it very well. The best part is that his Dendro application is so fast that he's capable of causing Bloom, Quicken, and Spread reactions in rapid succession. This allows him to do a lot of his own personal damage, while allowing his team to follow up. The reason why Hyperbloom is so good is that it can keep up with the best DPS in the game without needing to crit. The only character that needs to crit in an AlHaitham team is himself and possibly another sub-DPS like Fischl. As you guys should know, farming artifacts is a pain in the ass, so not needing to rely on consistent crit RNG both in-game and farming is very valuable because you don't need to farm these godforsaken artifact stats as much. I'd say on average, AlHaitham teams require a lot less crit compared to a lot of non-Dendro teams in the game. It takes a lot less resin to find success with AlHaitham compared to many other hyper carries or quick swap teams. His best in slot artifact sets are very resin efficient because they are both in the same domain. Generally, I would recommend Gilded Dreams over Deepwood in almost every scenario, but if he's the only Dendro character in the party without another Deepwood user, I would give that set to him to decrease the Dendro resist to help with the Hyperbloom damage itself. His free-to-play and 5-star options are all quite good. Iron Sting and the Umbrella are both comparable. Depending on the scenario, one edges over the other, but they generally perform very similarly to each other. If you have Zyphos, it's a pretty good option to help with energy for the team. Mist Splitter, Jade Cutter, and Haran, if you so dare, are all pretty good, with the Jade Cutter a little better over the others because of the extra crit value it gives. Light of Foliar Incision, obviously it's his best in slot. The fact that he has a wide variety of team options, weapons, and requires less investment while competing with very strong teams makes him one of the best DPS in the entire game in my opinion. Seeing that AlHaitham is a DPS capable of doing many things at the same time while having very few downsides makes him very valuable. If I had to give him a rating in terms of pull value, I think I would give him at least an 8 out of 10. The reason for this because I do think there are more valuable units out there, majority of them being supports, and he does have energy problems, but overall I'd say he's really strong. And I can guarantee that AlHaitham can make any account very strong with some investment. Thanks for watching everyone. I hope you enjoyed this quick and deep look into how valuable AlHaitham can be for your account. Remember to sub and like to help the channel reach 2k subs soon. It would really mean a lot if we could reach it. Have a good night and day wherever you're at, and I'll see you all next time. Peace and take care.